Hi everybody, and welcome back. Today we are going to take a little bit of time to do a do-it-yourself project with items we picked up at our local Dollar Tree and some other dollar stores in our town. For just a few dollars, you can have a beautiful cosmetics tray like this one that you can sit out in any area of your home just to brighten your space up a little bit more. If you would like to see how we did it, just stay tuned. A few of the items that you will need to get started with this project can all be purchased at the Dollar Tree. One of the things that you will need is some isopropyl alcohol and some cotton balls. So going to need a pair of scissors, decorative gems. If this is an item that you like and want to include in your project, these can be picked up at the Dollar General store for just $1 per package. You will also need some washi tape or some other decorative kind of tape that you would like to be able to put on your tray. Picked up 3 of these little square storage containers at the Dollar Tree. These are in the section where they have all kinds of school supplies and storage bins. This is just a little square that measures 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and it is 2 inches tall. And you will also need a tray. This we also found at the Dollar Tree. These were in the seasonal section. Before we can begin our project, we need to go ahead and prep the surface of all of our containers. That means that we're going to have to go ahead and remove any labels that are on our little bins and make sure that we clean the surface with our cotton ball and our alcohol to make sure all the sticky residue or oils from our fingers has been completely removed. Now we're just going to gently rub over the surface, removing any residue or tape. And then we're just going to set this aside and let it air dry. Now, even though this tray did not have any stickers or labels on the surface of it, we still want to go ahead and make sure that we clean it with our alcohol. Once the surfaces are all completely air dried, we can go ahead and begin with our project. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to go ahead and apply the washi tape to the actual little storage bins themselves. On this particular one right here, we are going to use these little knobs that you can see right here. I'm not sure if that's really showing up on camera very well, but if you purchase these bins from the Dollar Tree, you will notice up under the corners here that there's like a little tab that sticks down just a little bit. We're going to use those as the guide for where we want our tape, and this will help us to keep our tape straight as we work our way around the container. Now, the best thing to do is to go ahead and allow this tape to stick out from the edge of your container, probably by about 1/2 inch. This way it gives us a little bit of room to overlap when we get around to that final side, and it will keep the tape from lifting from the surface of our container. Now we're on the side where we started with that first little 1/2 inch of tape, so we're just going to go ahead and overlap it a wee bit, and then we're going to cut it off at about 1/4 inch right there. Okay, and this is what it will look like once we get that tape all the way around. And we're just going to go ahead and do this to our other 2 containers as well. Now that we have all of our little containers with our little row of washi tape, we're going to go ahead and add some of these gems just to make it a little more sparkly. First, we're going to just go ahead and begin trimming off our stones and then placing them around the top edges of our containers. Are sticky backed gems, so all you have to do is just peel the little backing off of there and then just place them where you want them to be. Go ahead and start the first side right here in the center so that my seam doesn't hit on a corner, making it less secure. Now when we get to our last little section, we are just going to want to hold it up and measure it and then cut in between the two gems that are going to give us the most tight fit. On our tray itself, we want to go ahead and add some of the same type of washi tape that we put on our little bins. So to take our tape and begin placing and making a little border, kind of like a picture frame, down on the inside of the tray. Now, when we get ready to place the next piece of tape that will begin here and going down, instead of just having a straight line, I am going to cut this tape at an angle towards the corner, making what is called a mitered edge. Now, what you'll want to do when you have this piece all measured out, when you get ready to lay this mitered edge down, you will see right here where the cut stops on the inside corner. That is where you'll want to make sure that you measure up right here with this row of tape. If you put it down further, then you'll see the gap, and if you put it up higher, you're going to notice the gap overlaying. So you just want to make sure that that measures up perfectly where this corner is right in line with that bottom row of tape. Now when you get to your last piece of tape, because this one is going to land on top, you do want to go ahead and make sure that you miter this edge just like you did this edge. And so when you get done with your tray, it should look something like this. Now at this point right here, you have two options when placing your little containers onto your tray. You can either just go ahead and leave them freestanding, such as I am going to do. That way, if you choose to go ahead and say you want to pull something out of one bin, and for convenience you need to run over to a different room to use whatever's in that bin, then you could just lift it up and take it with you and then come back and easily replace it. However, if you want this to be more stationary and you don't care about removing your bins, then at this point you could go ahead and add you some hot glue or some E6000 to the bottom of your bins and go ahead and just securely glue them into place. We're going to show you just a couple of different options for using this little tray. It really is totally up to you. You could use this in an office for some of your office supplies like paper clips or staples, anything like that. You could also add some filler beads down in these if you wanted to use some taller objects like some cosmetic brushes. You could even use this in your kitchen or even in your living room or dining room area to add some little votive candles down in there. This is what it would look like if you choose to use it in your vanity and your cosmetics area. In these little bins, I have just simply put some of my favorite items that I like to reach for most often that I really don't want to have to dig down in my drawer to find. And this is what it could look like if you wanted to put some of your favorite pieces of jewelry in there. You could also use the sides here to lay a few other little items if you would like to, however you choose to use your tray. And this little item here would look beautiful up on your vanity with the little vanity jars that we made in another DIY, and I will have this video linked for you down below as well. And there you have your beautiful little do-it-yourself Dollar Tree cosmetics tray. For just a few dollars, you can have something beautiful to use in any area of your home. I hope you'll give this project a try, and if you do, make sure you post a picture to Instagram or your other social media, and be sure to tag me at DeeVine DeeZine, or give the hashtag DeeVine DeeZine so that I can see how your project turned out as well. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.